everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into one of the most exciting parts of ElevenLabs, creating your very own AI voice. Whether you want to sound like a sultry narrator, a robotic villain, or just yourself on a really good mic, this is where the fun really begins. Let's be honest, if you're cloning, you're probably just going to clone your own voice. And that's totally what this is meant for.
Begun. The Clone War has.
Maybe you'll make a fun character voice if you're doing something creative, or want to sound like a seductive pirate or a caffeinated squirrel. But for 99% of people, it's going to be your regular voice, cleaned up and AI-ified. So then you can use it again and again later without ever touching a microphone. You speak, it learns. And now you've got a digital version of your voice that can read scripts, narrate videos, and even have conversations without you having to record every line manually. And yes, you can create stylized voices if you're doing impressions or characters, as long as you're using your own voice to train it. But technically, and I do have to say this, you can't legally clone someone else's voice without their permission. So yeah, try to resist the urge to become the 232nd person this week to duplicate Donald Trump or Arnold Schwarzenegger. Will people still do it? Of course. Will it sound hilarious? Also yes. Should you keep it private unless you want a legal letter from a celebrity's lawyer? Definitely. With the 5,000 plus available voices for you to already use, you may still want to create your own for a specific reason. One of them, the obvious reason, being that you want your own voice. But there are multiple ways to create your own voices to use in ElevenLabs. But what you are able to do can depend on your account tier. First, there's voice design. I've never actually used this one, but it's to literally create a voice by just giving a text prompt for the type of voice you want, just like you would for creating any AI image or video. This is available even for the free tier. Next, there's what's called instant voice cloning. This one requires you to be on any of the paid plans. This only requires as little as 10 seconds of your voice, or up to about 2 minutes max. This is most likely the one to be used. The last option is called Professional Voice Clone. You need to be subscribed to the Creator tier or above to use this feature. This is what you'd use if you really want a high quality clone of your own voice. However, it takes a minimum of 30 minutes of high quality audio. I have yet to use this, but I can only assume that the quality is top notch. Let's try out the new voice design quickly. On the left side where the tab for voices is, click the little plus symbol. That will bring up the options to create a new voice for your collection. Now click on voice design. And this is nearly the entire UI to create a new voice from scratch using only a text prompt. Nearly, because there is a settings button that you can click on to fine tune the creation. But unless you already have a specific seed you want to use or are comfortable fiddling around with the loudness, quality, and guidance scale, I'd recommend keeping with the defaults for now. You have the option of randomizing the prompt and the preview text, but I'm going to assume that if you're using this, you have a specific idea of what voice you want to hear. But it could be interesting just to hear some of the randomized concepts they have built in. And if you do have your prompt selected, you can also auto-generate the preview text if you don't want to try and come up with something clever yourself. For my first new voice, I'm going to base it off my often used character that I create in Midjourney, the girl in the red hoodie. So I'm going to ask for a confident, charismatic young woman. She speaks slowly and deliberately, her tone edged with exhaustion from battle, but never weakness. There's steel beneath the softness and charm behind every calculated word. For the heck of it, I'm going to see what it comes up with and auto-generate on the text to preview. Okay. Either way, for the text preview, I'm going to go with this. That limp, that wasn't there a minute ago. Getting tired? Good. I want you to feel every second of what's coming next. Like I said, this is the first time I've tried this, so hopefully it sounds good. Hitting generate voice, let's see what we get.
That limp, that wasn't there a minute ago. Getting tired? Good. I want you to feel every second of what's coming next.
Well, that's pretty good. Notice it actually comes up with 3 options for the voices, so let's see what each one sounds like.
That limp? That wasn't there a minute ago. Getting tired? Good. I want you to feel every second of what's coming next.
That one sounds too soft, maybe a little too sultry too.
That limp? That wasn't there a minute ago. Getting tired? Good. I want you to feel every second of what's coming next.
That's actually pretty good too. Let me hear voice 1 again.
That limp. That wasn't there a minute ago. Getting tired? Good. I want you to feel every second of what's coming next.
Yeah, I think I like that one the best. It actually has a little more energy, and also you can tell there's a little bit of breathing in it where she's a bit tired or exhausted. Yep, definitely going to go with that one. I'm actually pretty impressed. Let's see, I'm going to name this Red Hoodie Girl. Language is obviously English. I guess I might as well add these, no point not to. Let's see, young? Okay. Saving the voice. I'm assuming that puts it into my library if I go to my voices. Yep, right there at the top, Red Hoodie Girl. It plays a preview.
That limp. That wasn't there a minute ago. Getting tired? Good. I want you to feel every second of what's coming next.
Yeah, I'll hold on to that one. So now, if you're going with instant voice cloning, the key to great results is good input. Garbage in, garbage out. So here's what to keep in mind. The first option is whether you want to just record directly into the app, or if you want to do a recording onto your computer, or maybe one you already have, and then upload that to ElevenLabs. It's really up to you. Of course, it's difficult to record a voice directly if it's, well, not your voice. And you only need a minimum of 10 seconds, but I'd recommend going closer to the maximum, which is around, I believe, 3 minutes. This might be obvious, but use a decent mic. You can use your phone if you have to, and it will work well enough. But the better the mic, the better your results. Try to avoid background noises or music or anything else. So record in a quiet room that has little to no echoes. Just putting up a curtain or large towel on a wall can help a lot. Be sure to speak clearly and at a normal pace, but also be expressive and not monotone. This should be obvious, but don't use any effects or auto-tune. And don't compress the audio. If you're going with a professional voice cloning, it's still the same concept. The better the equipment, the better quality you'll get. The main differences being that you'll get a much better output, but that's because you have to have a minimum of 30 minutes of clear audio recorded, and a recommended 3 hours if possible. That's a lot. They do have scripts that you can read aloud, first based on language, and then whether it's conversational, narrative, or advertisement. My recommendation would be to have ChatGPT or Grok or whatever write up a script, or multiple for what you want it to be. But the important part when reading any of these is to be expressive and clear. Also, unless you spoke perfectly through the entire 30 minutes to 3 hours of recording, be sure to edit your recording. Get rid of any random noises, excessive ums, and any mess ups. There's a great tips video when you first start that's kind of hidden that has a bunch of good information that I highly recommend checking out before recording. And just so you're aware, instant voice cloning is actually instant, but for the professional voice cloning, ElevenLabs says that it's currently 2 to 4 hours for processing. Once your voice is ready, it shows up in your voice library. Just be sure you're in My Voices, and then you can test it out right away. I'll have more on this in the video for text-to-speech. With the professional voice clone, not the instant clone, you also have the option to share the voice in multiple ways. This includes on an individual basis, sharing it to an entire voice library, and even the ability to earn money with their voice actor payouts. Yep, you get paid every time someone uses your voice. There's a bit more to it, but that's the basic concept. A quick but important note. If you're cloning your own voice, cool. But if you're using someone else's, make sure you have explicit permission. ElevenLabs takes this very seriously, and so should you. However, with professional voice cloning, you are only allowed to use your voice, and once the processing is done, they actually have you verify with a live recording of you to make sure it is actually your voice. So don't think you can get away with using a recording of someone else's voice with that. Hey, just a quick heads up. If you're thinking about trying out ElevenLabs, using this affiliate link on the screen or down below in the description really helps me out. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it directly supports the channel and keeps these videos going. And if you like tossing a little thank you my way, I've also got a buy me a coffee link in the description. Totally optional, but very much appreciated. And that's it for this look at creating your own voice in ElevenLabs. Whether you're cloning your own voice to save time, crafting a new character, or just curious how smooth and polished you can sound, hopefully you picked up something useful. If you've already tried it, let me know how yours turned out. Did it sound like you? Or maybe like a cooler version of you? And if you found this helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you liked the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, ring that little notification bell, and share this with someone who might get a kick out of hearing their own voice turned AI. All of these things seriously help more than you know. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.